Hey guys, it's the Coaster Bailman here with an awesome video of the top 15 most intense roller coasters in the USA. Sorry for those people living in other countries, this is only for the USA. Let's move on. Number 15 is Batman the Ride at Six Flags Parks. This ride is very intense and it's smushed into a tiny space. The picture you're seeing here is the Batman the Ride clone at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I found out that some of these clones vary in smoothness because I found the clone at St. Louis to be better than the one at Great America in smoothness. But this is a very intense and compact ride. Number 14 is Fury 325 at Kerwin's. This ride has some pretty crazy elements like a treble clef move and some pretty good airtime hills and some pretty intense banks. But this isn't the most intense roller coaster, but it's pretty intense. Number 13 is the Tennessee Tornado at Dollywood. This is probably one of the most underrated coasters on this list. This is one of the smoothest aerodynamics roller coasters out there. It's very intense, has some crazy inversions compared to other aero coasters, and it uses the terrain very well. Number 12 is Banshee at Kings Island. This ride does not have a pre-drop like all the B&M inverts have, and it has vest restraints. But getting to the ride, this ride is a very long ride compared to most inverts like Batman the Ride or a Vekoma SLC, which those are short very quickly. This ride just keeps on going, has a couple vertical loops, a very slow inversion at the end. It's just awesome. Number 11 is Raptor at Cedar Point. This is the same way with Batman the Ride. This ride is not a clone like Batman the Ride, but it's very intense, it's compact, it has some crazy inversions, but not the smoothest Cobra roll. But this ride is very intense. Number 10 is Kumba at Busch Gardens, Tampa. This ride has some interlocking corkscrews, which is pretty cool. A vertical loop that is in between the lift hill or something. I don't really know. But this ride uses some tropical terrain a little bit, and is perhaps one of the most intense B&Ms ever created, and perhaps the best sit-down looper of all time. Number 9 is Afterburn at Kerwin's. This is one of those classic B&M inverts, kind of like Raptor or Batman the Ride. It's in a tiny space that's very compact, intense, and the inversions are awesome, and this ride's glossy smooth. Number 8 are the Vekoma giant inverted boomerangs at many different amusement parks. The one you are seeing now is Goliath at Six Flags New England. This ride has a very intense moment at the bottom of the drops is the most intense part, and you might pull some good G's in the inversions. That's why it's number 8. Number 7 is the Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood. This ride is insane. The drops are crazy, and when Morgan revamped this ride, they made it a whole lot meaner. There's some crazy ejector airtime hills at the end, and this ride is just awesome. Number 6 are two roller coasters that are kind of the same. King Dakar and Top Thrill Dragster at Six Flags Great Adventure and Cedar Point. These rides might have a slight difference, but these rides have some forceful launches, some great drops, a pretty cool top hat. This ride's just amazing. Or both the rides are amazing. Number 5 is El Toro, or translated to English, The Bull, at Six Flags Great Adventure. This ride is filled with crazy airtime hills, one of the most intense wooden coasters out there. This ride has so much airtime, and it's just unbelievable. There's a mix of floater and ejector airtime. Number 4 is Sky Rush at Hershey Park. This is one of the most intense coasters out there. This ride has some crazy airtime and some crazy bank turns. Number 3 is Maverick at Cedar Point. This ride is intense. It has a crazy beyond vertical drop and many other elements following it. It's just great. And this ride has speed, kind of like the Phantom's Revenge. Number 2 is X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This ride is perhaps the best 4D coaster out there and one of the best coasters at Magic Mountain. This ride, the seats rotate like the whole time. After you leave the lift hill till you're in the station, this is perhaps one of the best aerodynamics roller coasters built. This ride is just, you don't know how many times you're going upside down. It's just great. And the best coaster in intensity is Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. This ride is super intense, but not the longest ride. But other than that, this ride is so intense, people gray out or even black out on this ride. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.